Squad Busters has 6 different classes of characters. We're going to be taking a look at the attackers, defenders, speedsters, healers, all-rounders, and suppliers, and we're going to be picking out the best character for each class. Here we go. Alright guys, the best character for the attacker class is going to be the Archer Queen. For her baby form, your ranged units will attack faster, her classic form will fire exploding arrows occasionally, her super form will allow you to recover health steadily when not attacking, and her ultra form will give you an expo spell to use. Now it's important that you're trying your best to keep your Archer Queen alive because she's essential to increasing the attack speed of your ranged units. Most of the ranged units like Colt and Tank are the ones that are going to be dealing majority of the damage for your squad, right? So why wouldn't you want to increase the attack speed of the characters that are dealing the most amount of damage for your squad? What I really love about the Archer Queen is especially her super form, like having that passive healing when you're not attacking is going to help her stay alive, and it's also going to just keep your ranged units alive too. This is just very helpful considering that the Archer Queen doesn't have a whole ton of health. It's a good thing that she actually received a buff to her health in the last balance change that increased her health from 1200 to 1300. Now a tip I do want to share with you guys, if you have at least the Archer Queen's classic form, you want to be engaging with enemy squads first. The reason I'm saying this is because you want the exploding arrows to hit the enemy squad first in case they have like another Archer Queen, Shelly, or El Primo that could possibly interrupt your exploding arrows. Alright guys, the next class we're going to be talking about is going to be the supplier class, and the best supplier in the game is going to be the trader. Now for the trader's baby form, he will give you 2 gems for every 15 coins collected. His classic form will allow you to heal the squad slightly when giving gems. His super form increases gems given to 3 now, and his ultra form will heal much more when giving gems. Now the main reason why the trader went from being one of the worst characters to now being one of the best characters is because of the buffs he received in the recent set of balance changes. The 2 buffs that he received was that in his baby form he can now receive 2 gems instead of 1, and now in his super form he can now receive 3 gems instead of 2. Since you need gems in order to place higher in the matches and also to progress throughout the gem pass, you need to have the trader to get more gems. It's also good to just run around killing smaller monsters to get coins and then converting those into gems. It's better than playing super risky and potentially losing units in your squad trying to take out tougher bosses or other squads. Now if you can, I'd recommend choosing as much traders as possible, trying to get fusion traders because you're just going to be getting more gems from them. Well, not only are you going to get an increase of 4000 health if you form a fusion, you will also be able to double your damage and double your fusion perk, which is that you can give more gems more often. Since you have a pretty good chance of stacking up on traders at the early stages of the match since he is a common character, it would be nice to stack up on those traders for the end game. Just don't go totally crazy with getting traders because they are just suppliers. You still need characters from other classes to form well-rounded squads. Alright guys, the next class we're going to be talking about is going to be the speedsters, and the best speedster in the game is the Hog Rider. Grass will give you a burst of turbo in his baby form. The classic form will allow the turbos to last longer. In his super form, the turbos will recharge faster, and then the turbo increases your movement speed even more in his ultra form. Now I know I said in my other videos that Max is better than the Hog Rider, but I've come to the realization that you need the Hog Rider way more than you need Max. Being able to replenish your speed boots every time you run through a bush is clutch to making sure you can either chase down the enemy squads or to escape them. I'd recommend going for a fusion Hog Rider though, because the fusion perk allows the turbo to recover even faster in grass, so this will just help you maintain your boost throughout the match even more efficiently. Now the only downside with the Hog Rider is you need those bushes in order to replenish your turbo boots, and if you can't find any bushes near you, then yeah, you're cooked. This is obviously very unfortunate if you're running around the map and there aren't any bushes near you. I mean, especially if you are trying to escape enemies and there are no bushes near you, and then you end up running out of turbos and then you die. Like, that is just so unfortunate. Now I know it's important to go ahead and choose the Hog Rider every time so your turbos can recharge faster, but you also need to be running around the map hunting for boots, mostly because the more boots that you can find throughout the map is going to increase the amount of boost that you can hold. Even if you have say 10 fusion Hog Riders, that won't matter if you don't collect any additional turbo boots. You need to get more turbo boots, so when you run through bushes and recharge your turbo, you want to have as much boots as possible so it takes longer for it to run out. Alright guys, the next class we're going to be talking about is going to be the all-rounder class, and the best all-rounder in the game is going to be Shelly. In Shelly's baby form, after you bust 5 holes, you'll be able to fire her super shell. In her classic form, you can actually heal a large amount of health after using super shell. In her super form, you'll be able to shoot a second barrel with her normal attack, and her ultra form, you'll be able to shoot bigger super shells. Now as you can imagine, the main reason why Shelly is the best all-rounder in the game is because of her super shell ability. Since she has the super shell ability even in her baby evolution, it makes her such a great unit to have in your squad. You can blast the monsters, bosses, or enemies away to potentially keep your squad alive. This is great when being pressured by squads stronger than you, so you have time to run away. If you think about it, being able to deal more damage in Shelly's super evolution and her ultra evolution, it just makes her way stronger. It may not sound like a huge difference, but being able to shoot a second round of shells and shooting bigger shells will help you deal more damage onto the enemy squads and hit more units in general. Now, something that's pretty underrated about Shelly that I personally like about her is her classic form and being able to heal herself up after she uses her super shell. If you think about it, the fact that you can even heal after every super shell thanks to her classic form, it just helps Shelly stay alive a lot longer so she can keep on cycling her super shell ability. I mean, it's nasty, especially with her being in the front of your squad most of the time. Having that extra ability to heal up may save her life. Alright guys, the next class we're going to be talking about is going to be the defender class, and the best defender in the game is going to be Tank. In Tank's baby form, she can take control of tanks found around the map. In her classic form, tanks overdrive their attack speed occasionally. In her super form, tanks will start with overdrive, and her ultra form, tanks repair during overdrive. Now, there's a reason why Tank is considered to be one of the best units throughout all of Squad Busters. For one, being able to take control of tanks that are found around the map is completely broken. Secondly, the tanks have a lot of health to help you tank shots for your squad, and of course they can deal a lot of damage as well. But personally, I find it funny that Tank is a defender unit. I mean, it makes sense because she's in the front of the squad and has a ton of health in her tank, but she can also do a lot of damage. So in my eyes, I kind of see her as a damage dealer sometimes. And you guys want to know something that's even funnier about Tank? They actually buffed her health by an additional 200, so now she has even more health than ever. In my opinion, Tank didn't need a health buff whatsoever, but this definitely now solidifies her as the best defender in the game. She already gained so much health because of her tank, and especially in her fusion form, and now she gets a health buff to increase it that much more. It's insane. But okay, I know I'm gonna get a lot of people writing in the comments, so I do want to give a special shout out to a equally strong defender, the Barbarian King. In the Barbarian King's baby form, your melee units will attack faster. In his classic form, he will be able to occasionally pummel enemies with his iron fist. In his super form, he can recover health steadily when not attacking, kind of like the Archer Queen. And his ultra form, he will be giving you a super rage spell. Now, I love using the Barbarian King in the game because not only is he an epic, but he has over 3,000 health, and he's a great tank to shield your squad. The super form just makes the Barbarian King even stronger because you won't need any healing units in order for the Barbarian King to heal up. This will also make it easier for the Barbarian King to stay alive since he is essential to increasing the attack speed of your melee units. It's also important that he stays alive since he will probably be your primary tank to protect your squad throughout the match. The Barbarian King is also great to have, especially if you have a lot of mega units like El Tigre and the Dragon Chicken. Since both the Dragon Chicken and El Tigre are melee units, then the increased attack speed from the Barbarian King will make the mega units even stronger. If you get the Barbarian King early on in the game, I'd recommend stacking your squad with a bunch of melee units to get the most amount of value out of his baby form stat buff. Alright guys, the next class I want to talk about is the healer class, and the best healer in the game is none other than the battle healer. In her baby form, she can boost your squad's health by 400. In her classic form, she can heal the squad after opening a chest. In her super form, she can increase the squad's health to 600. And her ultra form, she can heal much more after opening a chest. Now, the main reason why I'm claiming that the battle healer is the best healer in the game, even though a lot of people will probably disagree with me, but it's because she can increase your squad's health. Helping your squad gain a few hundred extra health could help in the later game when needing to battle other squads that won't have the health buff. It would just make your weaker units tankier and your tanky units even more tanky, which you can't go wrong with. Now, if you can and you want to be going with the battle healer as your primary healer in the game, I'd recommend trying to find as much throughout chests so you can form a fusion battle healer. The main reason I say this is because a fusion battle healer is way stronger than a normal battle healer. Obviously, this is gonna make sense, right? But she will have over 6,000 health, which is more than some of the other tanks in the game. Plus, with her fusion perk, you can increase your squad's health even more. Well, anyway guys, if you guys enjoyed that Squad Busters video, I highly recommend go check out this Squad Busters video right here.